We welcome you to this space and we welcome you to this moment, and we ask that you allow your mind to find ease. And we ask that you allow your body to find ease. And we ask you to feel your divine energy, to allow in the energy of this space. Begin by opening your heart to receiving. Begin by softening the layers around your heart, by softening the words and the stories that you carry around your heart. And allow them to simply melt away. And allow your heart to open and receive, to lift and expand as it finds its true fullness. And allow your stomach to release, and allow the sacral to release, to clear any and all emotions and stories that it is holding. Allow it to find its flow as it receives this energy. As it receives this energy from this divine space and from your own love. From the space, we welcome you into our message. This part of your life is about just this. Allowing the old to simply melt away through the power of your intention, through the power of your conscious choice, through the power that you hold through your own energy and soul. To acknowledge when the voice comes up, to acknowledge when old past lives creep in. You will simply know. Please acknowledge this. As you do, you can choose to make the choice to allow it to no longer impact you. You can choose to make the choice to allow yourself to let go. As you choose to let go, you let go of the weight that these past moments hold. As you choose to let go, you begin to heal. It is not some healing event, some big spiritual moment, but these choices create impact. They create the impact that allow the big healing moments to be that much more impactful. And they create power for you to hold in the moment. Power that you hold within yourself and within your life. And this power is to now be reclaimed. As you're beginning to reclaim your gifts, all that you truly hold within your spirit and within your soul. This occurs through conscious choice, to choose yourself, to choose empowerment, to choose to expand, to choose to take the single step forward out of a place of self-love. Through this love, you choose now what weight you carry, what energy, what emotions you carry in your life, in your home, in your family. You choose what energy, what emotions you bring forth into your business. Do you want to bring forward these past moments into these things now that you are creating? That will create a block. If you let them go, you let go and no block is created. In fact, as you choose to let go, you put a loving energy into these new things that you create. Because that moment where you make the choice to let go, you are bringing in divine energy. and it is flowing through you. Each forward step that you take, each thing that you put your energy and attention into. So know, my dear, you have full control. You have full power, and the past no longer holds a grip over you. Your own conscious choice is the only thing that will. So choose love, choose empowerment, choose the truth of all you are and all you are capable of. Your expansion and your abundance is a choice now. We have served and laid forward all that we can for now. How you choose to show up will be up to you. But know that every time you show up now, it will open more than it ever has. Because these weights, these limitations and restrictions no longer exist. It is simply you, your mind, your heart, your soul, and your divine energy. It will lead to one direction or the other. Choose the one that is right and allow yourself to be in expansion and allow yourself to receive all that lies along this path. My dear. Now, we finish our message. What would you like to ask us today?
I find it interesting that the words let go came forward because as I'm studying to become a hypnotherapist and for clients, one of the biggest things that we've talked about is learning how to let go and how powerful those two words are. And I think this is a great moment for me to feel that I need to also do that for myself and to let go of some of these past experiences that have just brought on so much disappointment and frustration, and just let those go and move forward so I can be in a space where I'm serving myself in the best way possible and those around me.
Yeah.
So,
and it's about the micro moments. This is part of what they're speaking to, and I can really feel the impact of it. The little choices, the little moments, the little voices. The big ones, it's kind of already dealt with and planned out. You're going to go through those. But the chain of events and the little small ones are the ones that are going to add up and really create some massive shift for you. And it's just that, right? I let go.
Right.
From your heart, I let go. I let go of this. I let go of this thought. I let go of this belief. And what like they brought you through in the beginning, you're probably just going to feel it melt away off of your heart, melt away out of your stomach, your shoulders, to the weight that's carried on there, where you're kind of up a little bit. It's going to drop and release.
Right.
And it's going to be a moment of, okay, just like that snap, empowered. Boom. I can feel a little empowerment in my heart, a little shock. Okay, next time, boom, boom, boom. And it gets more and more and more. And it feels really good.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah, I just have to soak that all in and really feel it, because I feel that it's so easy to hear those words, and that's been part of my process in all of this, is that so many times you look at this and you feel the logic of it,
Right.
but it's different to feel the actual emotion and rollout of that in your life. You know,
into real life.
right? Yeah. Because all of a sudden you realize that you're reacting in your old normal way when you've told yourself, well, oh, logically, I'm going to lean more into, love and patience. But then something comes up like a screaming child, or something in your work doesn't go your way. And you feel that. So I definitely can feel that transition in my life, is that those sort of reactionary moments, as small as they are definitely less and less.
Yeah. it's, it's a level of where you begin to make these conscious choices, and it starts to lessen that, and it becomes more automatic, where it just kind of shifts your automatic response to it, where baby's crying and you're freaking out, you just want to scream. After you've made these choices a few times, it's like that rewiring of your body. It begins to just respond to it differently. It's less of it carries less weight. There's less of an energetic charge to it because you begin to work through it.
Exactly. And that's where I feel much more aligned in my work too, because you're just letting go of these old patterns, but yet I'm still aware that I'm not completely free of all of them. But things are just definitely feeling more aligned and stuff. And that's what I want to ask the records today is we are going to go more into where I'm at in terms of my work and my my gifts coming to life in terms of helping people with past lives and stuff. But I want to start off with a quick personal question, and then we can move into that.
Okay.
So my question for the Akashic Records would be, why was I born with this birth defect on the right side of my chest?
Mm-hmm. There's definitely a past life component here, as we probably anticipate for this. There's a level of energetic scarring there, and it creates a physical piece. But the piece around this is, what they're sharing is like early life trauma. There's some impact of that we don't quite see or understand, but having whatever experiences were tied into that, it feels like it led to a lot of fear. It led to a lot of anxiety. And this is part of one of the things that you carry from old lives. That needed to be experienced. It's kind of like this opens up the chain of events for whatever else goes on in your life to bring up these core aspects of yourself to be healed. But if it were through something more external, like something happens to you, it wouldn't have had the same impact. Whereas like, this is me, this is my chest, this is my body. There's a deeper level of the body really being uncomfortable and the body really freaking out. And it's actually tied into part of the physical health things that you experience now. Like the body needed to go through some quote unquote trauma to be uncomfortable, to be able to then allow you to become a place where that's seen, that's understood, that's healed. And it just feels like you get to and just fully clear through all that. And the body finds peace. They're saying like the body finds peace. The body finds love. The body finds its own sense of calmness and well-being. It feels like that started the train of everything kind of being like, yeah, everything's kind of amped up a little bit.
Okay.
That's what I can feel from that. And that's what you're experiencing now is still some residual of that. Okay. And it's all now on this phase of like just calming down, and the body will itself begin to calm down and find peace. As that happens, that's when the next major part of your gifts unlocks. It's like, whew, okay, the body is able to relax. And so because not everything is not as keyed up, now it's safe for your gift to come out. And so that's, I think, going to be a big piece for you too, is allowing your body to feel safe. As you begin to work with that, feels like that's going to be one of the major pieces for you to kind of unlock everything that comes next for you. The body needs to feel safe.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because I feel like, I had some pretty major reconstructive surgery 15 years ago. I mean, this isn't a small thing at all.
Right.
And I've dealt with a lot of post-op pain from that surgery, which has made me also question my decision in doing it, even though emotionally, God, I've felt so much better to have that fixed, because there's just no, I was born with no pec muscle on that side. So it's just
Okay.
a completely hollow cave right there. And I've always have felt some level of pain from where the incisions were, where muscles were cut, et cetera, et cetera. But I've noticed as I've gotten more comfortable in my own body and I'm comfortable with my body, and even just small things like being less insecure about my body, those pains have gone away.
Mm-hmm. It's all correlated. It's all like in the shaman too. It's all really connected to this past life. Like it was bashed in right there. I
Damn.
think that's part of what it feels like. It feels very bashed in and concave, and the pain is related to that. So anytime you feel like, it's almost like anytime you feel trapped or anytime you feel like you're being suppressed and like concave in your body, that's part of what you feel in that space when that energy comes up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as you're doing everything that you're doing, right, you're bringing a sense of safety to it. So and they're really harping in on that word safety. So the more work you do around safety, this will be a lot of energetic
Okay.
and healing work on that actual space. Like there's still the trauma from the surgery, right? The trauma that the body carries from
Mm-hmm.
that, as well as some of the energetic trauma. There's a root chakra thing here too related to that. So
Yeah.
that makes sense too if we think about it, unlocking your gifts and unlocking abundance and the business side of the world. Like that's all tied into the
Interesting.
root chakra. It's
Huh.
gonna really open up hand in hand.
Wow. It's funny that I was thinking this was kind of a wild card question, but in a way it really isn't.
It's related to everything.
You know,
Yeah.
I just felt so compelled to ask it today. And here it is talking about my work. So here we are. Is there any way to get more insight on this life, just out of curiosity?
There is. This session isn't the time for it, but they
Okay.
do want to bring some healing energy into it. So we're going to do a
Okay.
little framework there.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
so close your eyes
Okay.
and we're going to do a
Okay.
little healing to it.
Okay.
So I'm bringing out the blue flame. And just for you, connect into my third eye. And
Mm-hmm.
bring that blue flame from my energy into yours. And let it go right into that chest, into that muscle, into that energetics of that space, into the scarring, into everything that's there. I think you can feel it. It's like there's energetic layers around it of scar tissue, is what it feels like. It's
Mm-hmm.
just really buffered. It's like
Right.
that
It
energy is
is.
making up for the chest muscle. So we're going to let that energy come in through that energy, blue flames coming in through that and slowly working its way through those layers that you've built to protect yourself as it finds its way into the physical tissue, into the actual scar tissue, into the trauma that's in that space in the body. When you're ready, say out loud, I am safe. Say it from that space in your body and say it 3 times with love.
I am safe. I am safe. I am safe.
All right, so there's the first layer. The flames going through, doing a bit more work. Feel your sacral opening up a little bit as well. That emotional weight in your stomach is starting to clear. And when you're ready, go ahead and say it 3 more times.
I am safe. I am safe. I am safe.
Now it's really going into the tissue, into the cells, into your energy, in all levels, at the deepest levels. And it's also going into the root chakra at the same time. Now that we've begun to clear through the sacral, both these spaces are ready to let go. They are ready to let go. They are ready to let go. As you let go, you say the words. As you say the words, you really fully surrender and release whenever you're ready.
I surrender and release.
Now 3 more I am safes as you make that surrender and release permanent.
I am safe. I am safe. I am safe.
Now we bring in love into these spaces, love into the root chakra, love into that space in your chest. We fill all the spaces that were cleared and bring divine white and golden light into it. Allow it to be filled and allow it to fill from the inside out in pure, high vibrational love. As you feel this energy in it, you feel a deep sense of safety and you feel your body fully relax. As you feel the need to protect yourself, let go. You are free, you are free, you are free. Go ahead and come back whenever you're ready.
All right.
You feel lighter.
I do. And it's funny that it actually felt almost ice cold on my right side.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be music. Someone has like a frozen shoulder and they can't move it, and there's just no blood flow and energy flow into it. It kind of felt like that in your chest.
You're right.
Yeah.
Almost, I know this sounds funny, but it almost felt like someone put Bengay on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. And now it's
and
almost
tingly
like
cold.
all the heat is rushing in now, and the blood flow is finally coming into it. So
yeah,
interesting. Is there anything else you want to ask around that?
I'm sorry?
Is there anything else you want to ask around that?
No, I think that's good. I'm just gonna leave that there for now. That's all I really needed on that.
Okay.
So that was good. That was good. It gave me some insight to what was going on with that, because it was just always such an oddball thing to have.
Yeah. I mean, we get it, right? It was, I mean, the thing with the root chakra, when you have a block, it forces all your energy up. So then you get all this spiritual energy. So that was a way of bringing that lack of safety into your body, into that trauma. So you move up and you unlock all this spiritual energy. And that's you and your gifts. Now that you're in your gifts, that can all be fully healed and let go.
Okay. Cool. Hi.
Yeah.
So let's talk about so let's move back into sort of where we left off from last time we were in the Akashic Records. Because I've been practicing obviously now with people in channeling their past lives, and I think I've done a pretty good job at moving that into more of an actual healing session and really understanding what to do with it. But I still think there's a lot of progress to be made, and so I'm hoping to get some messaging on this from the Akashic Records about sort of the next step around that, because what I would like is to be a little bit more clear on downloading the specific life lessons and themes, and how I could potentially integrate into this, calling upon specific archangels if that's relevant, and what my next steps for that would be too.
It's funny, you said exactly what was going to come out of my mouth. That knowing of this past life and the lessons and things that were tied into it isn't going to come from you. It's going to come from the angels. So as we open up that gift of, they're saying, first becoming a channel for the angels and then becoming a full medium where they step into you, that's what comes out of your mouth at that point. So it's first just setting the intention the way you would even to access the records or to connect into your heart. The way you go into someone's third eye to get into the past life, you go into your third eye with the intention of connecting to whichever specific angel is supposed to come through. That one is going to be purely intuitive. You'll just know whichever one is right for that session. So you ask for that specific angel as you go into your third eye, and you, showing you now, you use your third eye to envision a cord from your third eye to the angel. See the image of it and see that cord go into the angel. And then it's about receiving. So I allow myself to receive this energy. I allow myself to receive this message, and it's going to flow through me like channel.
Okay. So I allow myself, I'm writing this down. So I allow myself, what did you say?
I allow myself to receive this energy.
Okay.
I allow myself to receive this message. And this is also, those are starting points for you.
Okay.
Whatever you want to say will end up being whatever feels best to you. But it's really about seeing that cord between your third eye and the angel, and then opening yourself up to receiving, right? That's what that piece is. It's about setting the intention to allow that message and energy to flow through you. For you, it's opening up your body and your energy to be able to receive. So that's part of what we just did here, right? The piece about finding safety within your body. Because you're safe in your body, you're safe to allow this to happen.
Okay.
So there's a little intention setting before you even go into the session of like working with your body to calm it down and feel safe. The more it's rooted and feels safe, the more receptive it'll be to this energy coming through you and the angel coming through you.
Okay. So even though then I'm going to intuitively know what angels to call on, I mean, I feel like an amateur right now when I say this, but I literally know like 2 archangels and that's it. So are they just going to tell me their names, or is there like a book or something that I can get an idea of who these archangels are?
Saying this is your homework assignment. You don't have to know what they do and how they serve and what they stand for, but just memorize the names.
Just know the names. Okay.
From that point, as you open up to the message, it may be more intuitive for you at first, where you don't quite get them speaking through you, but there's a few words, there's a few concepts, the same way it works for you to do your readings now. As you get used to that energy and develop that connection, that pathway, they'll begin to speak through you. It'll be more physical. As you get used to that, it'll become more embodied. They'll come into you and through you. And that'll be the progression that it takes.
Okay. That's easy enough.
Yeah, it's actually really easy. It's more of a physical body intention setting thing.
Right. Isn't it funny how we love to complicate things? Because how long did I complicate this whole process?
How long have I said the same thing to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I just say, all right, well, let me just give it a shot, we'll see, these past lives just download into my head. It's like, oh yeah, here it is, right there, done.
I mean, and that's the thing, though. You have to be ready for it, right? If you're not mentally ready for it, then it's not going to happen. So that space is just time for you to kind of get into your zone, and you're like, okay, now I'm ready. Cool, we're going to do this, and now everything comes flushing in.
Yeah. And then, you know what? And actually, let's circle back real quick. I wanted to ask him about this too. When it comes to the mediumship part of my gifts, which is obviously still in the opening process. We talked about last time what was that when I had asked when that angel came into my body. One of the things that I saw was what looked like a teleprompter. So there was something that felt for me, I felt very connected to it almost as if I just forgot, and then, oh yeah, there it is. I see it again. What what is that? And what is that going to be part of this channeling where I'm literally just reading it, or what? I don't know. I have not been able to get that out of my head, and I was hoping to get some clarity on what the teleprompter was and how it will be used.
The teleprompter is more symbolically reading. So think about the way your gifts work and the way you're seeing these lives. You have to go into it, and there's actually some reading of the image. There's reading of the energy of what's coming through. You're trying to
Okay.
decode it. And that's what it feels like right now. There's almost two things that happen here. There's the angels that come through and show things, share things, speak through you. You know, they move into the mediumship side of it. They'll speak through you. But then
Mm-hmm.
there's a secondary level of you also decoding and physically trying to read the other images you're seeing, the knowings
Okay.
that you're holding and receiving, like the same way I work in these sessions. They'll channel. I'm also getting things in the background. And then there comes a time for me to share everything that I'm receiving as well that's not being channeled through.
Okay.
It's a, they're saying is you will work hand in hand. The angels aren't the
Okay.
end all be all. They're just a part of the gift of the process.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is pretty cool when you're getting such a vivid image coming through the third eye like that,
Mm-hmm.
and having like the most beautiful teleprompter you could ever see.
Yeah.
Just writing stuff out for you, and you're like, wait, is this what all mediums do? They're literally just reading off of this magical teleprompter, and it was just kind of fun. I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that all the time. Just pull in the teleprompter and just start channeling whatever it is I feel like channeling.
They're not showing me when or where, but there is a place for that. And you're like,
Okay.
okay, I'm like, maybe I'm not getting anything, or things feel kind of clunky, or it's just not flowing. Teleprompter. Okay. Okay. I see the teleprompter. I'm going to zoom in. What words are
Mm,
there? What am I seeing? And you may actually read, but that reading is almost going to feel channeled or more
right.
medium like.
Okay.
You'll be reading it, but then it's also just flowing through you at the same time.
Okay. Cool.
And they're also
So my
sharing a bit more on your mediumship too, by the way.
okay.
The angels are the opening to that gift. And at a later
Okay.
point, you'll be able to consciously choose when, where you want to open up the mediumship, and you will be able to.
Okay.
So you'll be able to open it up to loved ones, saying ancestors, or yelling ancestors as well.
Wait, what do you mean? So just open it up and have like my ancestors chit chatting away, or what do you mean?
You'll be able to connect to people's loved ones, to guides, to ancestors. They're saying especially the ancestors, their ancestors or yours.
Mm, okay. All right. Well, it's funny. I feel like have a little bit of that now, though.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Not clear enough. I'm definitely not there yet when it comes to, oh, let me just channel this person. But I have had a lot of these dead people come around,
Yeah.
and there's been conversations that's been had, and that's it in those situations too. It's just I'm not doing it for someone. It's more of like they're in distress because they need to cross over, and I have that conversation with them.
Yeah. There'll be more
So
control there soon too, where they don't just show up on a whim. Like you are either energetically open to it or not, and that'll be respected. But
oh,
yeah,
that's good.
that'll happen more and more and more and more.
That's good because they can wreak havoc when they really want to. It hasn't been as bad lately.
It's because they're like screaming to get your attention. That's why.
Yeah,
That's
there's
the
no
wreaking havoc.
boundaries.
No, it's just like I'm trying to get your attention whatever way I can because like I'm freaking out. I need to get this
Right.
message out.
Right.
There's no boundaries.
But my absolute favorite situation around this of all time was when this one this one woman, she died in a car accident, and she wasn't gonna let this go. She wanted my attention.
Right.
And you know what she was upset about? She
Taco
was
Bell.
upset that her face got smashed in, so she didn't want anyone looking at her. And I go, lady, that's like the last of your problems. And I remember being pulled into this.
Mhm.
And as I'm chatting with this dead lady, trying not to laugh.
It's because you live in LA. You got an LA spirit. That's
Oh,
what
she
it
was
was.
LA. She was all
Yeah,
LA. There was
I could
no
do it.
question. I mean, she
I
was
think
a
she had a
Beverly Hills
chihuahua too.
blonde for sure. That was this
Yeah.
lady. And she was so upset that people saw her like that. And I'm thinking, like, man, you've even crossed over and you're still like very vain. And it's like funny. I'm trying like not to laugh, this poor lady. And I was just like,
Yeah.
but you need to go. We're gonna cross you over now.
Yeah. This is done now. We're gonna heal that. You're just gonna be energy again. Love you. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Oh god. I just think people are so funny. But yeah. So that was my favorite one. But anyways, where I want to take a little bit of this conversation to is, I know we've talked about this,
Mhm.
but this Atlantis energy is still so strong for me. And I find it wild how many pieces sort of come together on this, and how I've been able to connect with so many different people who are going through this similar, I would say, awakening of knowing and feeling Atlantis coming back through. So I would love to get a little bit more feedback on that, and just information for my own curiosity. And also, just what is it? How I can see who I was, but who was I? What was I doing? And how is that energy carrying into my gifts now?
It's a lot. My body is
Okay.
like the and your Atlantean energy is flowing through me intensely right now, and it's like making me like physically move, especially my root chakra. So it's actually, you'll find in times where you have great connections to it, it's very physical. It feels like your vortexes in a way. And I actually think your vortexes are a product of Atlantean healing and energy work more than anything
Right.
else.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
Because as soon as those vortex opened was the moment I became out of nowhere obsessed with Atlantis.
That
And I'm
makes
like,
sense.
Atlantis. It's almost like someone injected me with Atlantis blood. And I'm like, Atlantis is real. And I was there. But that's all I know.
So yeah, it's that part of you screaming out. And it's funny because I can see Atlantis on land and like energetic air vortex, and I can see Atlantis underwater and this like really physical water vortex. And it feels like there's both of those energies for you. Like there's a level of almost like Atlanteans existing now underwater where you hold that connection, and then you hold connection to Atlantean past as well. And they actually want to bring that into you right now. So we're actually going to drop in and close our eyes again. You're
Okay.
going to be tired tomorrow.
Oh, that's not new.
All right. So let's start by relaxing the body, taking a few deep breaths, allowing the body to be safe and relaxed. Set the intention, let everything fully drop and release and surrender. Now bring your attention to your crown and open the space in your crown chakra. As we do that, we open your throat chakra as well. And finally, we open up your heart and bring forward the soul. As you bring forward all the Atlantean energy that you hold in awareness from your soul, it fills up the heart chakra and moves through your body and energy in the field. You also receive this energy from the crown. The various past lives that you've held in Atlantis, the energy of them begins to come in through your crown as you receive them, as you receive them, as you receive them. As you come into your body, you bring them into your throat as you begin to receive the awareness of them from your throat. It almost may feel like you want to channel, like you want to speak, allow the words to come through you into your consciousness for them to be understood through your body, not just as energy, but to be understood through the body. Allow them to become words for you to receive from them as we hold the space for you to receive these words. Allow any images to be spoken through to you, to be received as knowing. As you bring forward any guides from this space, from this time, from Atlantis, to come forward with you now and share any messages to you directly. As we now ask them to begin this activation to this energy, begin to fully allow this energy to flow through you as you allow this to fully open up your throat and allow all that energy that is waiting to come out to fully integrate into your physical body. For you to begin to receive more awarenesses, understandings of this Atlantean life, of the Atlantean energy and their gifts. And for them to work with you, as you, for you, by you, as the Atlantean that you are. As we thank these guides that have come through, the Atlantean beings that have been with you, and welcome them back to you at any other moment at your will and intention. And come back out whenever you're ready.
Oh my gosh, I
You
feel
look like you were in a
dizzy.
whole new world. Yeah,
Whoa.
that's the vortex. So let's just root down your body real quick. When you're ready, just press your feet into the ground.
Like my head was spinning, like not mentally, but like literally my head was
Yeah,
moving in this.
that's the crown, everything coming through your crown chakra.
Man, some strong energy. I'm not going to be tired tomorrow. I'm going to be wiped tomorrow and then tired the following week.
One of those.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was
Hard
a
to even
big,
have
big
one
activation.
glass of wine in the next couple days. It's literally going to like throw me to the ground.
Yeah, a lot of warm, nourishing foods. They're like things that are warm, nothing cold. It'll help you maintain your energy and help your body to balance out. After that, your body just needs like warmth and nourishment and comfort food. Good for you, comfort food. So
That's good. Okay.
As much as you can
Yeah.
and need, sit down in the grass. That will do wonders for you.
Okay.
Hang out with little one and just sit in the grass. It'll help you ground, help your body kind of integrate and settle in.
Okay. But is there any way to get, I mean, I certainly feel that, that, not the information, I feel that energy coming in, but what sort of info can they provide us on a little bit more tactical level?
About that life we were, the image that keeps showing up is like, it's funny because they're showing it in like current times. You with a big old sign, like yelling. And it looks like someone at a protest. But what that means for you is you are a leader. There's a level of you also pushing against the norm as Atlantis started to approach its downfall. This might tie into some of the guilt of your gifts thing. As Atlantis started to go in the opposite direction of what it stood for and what made it so divine and great, you really started to push back against everyone doing that. And that's also part of the guilt, because there was a level of shunning that happened. It began to really push you away. And you had to
Interesting.
scream more and more and push more and more. There's a lot of that throat chakra energy from that, which is, I think, why this is coming up. Part of what that means for you now is more so about the values that you hold from that. There's a value of what is true, what is right, what is good. And it's what's going to help make sure that you, as the way it does for all of the healers, that our gifts are used with reverence for what is right. But now, as you begin to make those conscious acknowledgments of that, you can begin to heal that weight that you carry from that.
Okay.
Right? Like, I don't need to experience or learn these things anymore. I have to carry that weight because I stand for what is true. I stand for what is right. I'm not going to abuse my powers. And so I let go of the need to hold that weight.
Okay.
And that may be more of
Yeah.
a affirmation thing where you just embodied affirmations in the morning.
Okay.
It feels like it won't take much actually to let go of that. It's been ready to release.
Right.
That's part of that big throat chakra energy that you feel.
Okay.
It's like, I'm ready, let go. Okay, let's let this go. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah.
Right. You know what? That makes so much sense because I think some of my frustrations, I do, well, no, I'm going to say I carry frustrations with society in general.
Yeah.
Because I, it's almost like everyone is living so blind. And when you see the truth of things or feel the truth, and, I've always been so much more deeply embedded in my own spiritual gifts and seeing the way things work. For example, you look at how medicine works right now. And it's like, oh my God.
Everyone's blind and it's
Kind
all
of
in
makes you
disease.
mad.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And if you think about it, how much can that be related to Atlantis and the abuse of specific things, overuse of power? And so I don't like it when I've been questioned on my intuition or my skills or how I feel about things. And it's like, I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And these skills, these gifts exist. And there's the frustration then flows into the space of, imagine if everybody in the world reconnected with their gifts and their true selves. Imagine the level of healing this planet would face instead of us going through the same bullshit over and over and over again. It's frustrating. And I definitely feel that. And I think it is time for me to let go. Here we go, let go.
Let go. Yeah.
And to give humanity the space to do that. And the best I can do is show up and not let sort of the naysayers, the keyboard warriors, the bullies prevent me from doing that.
Yeah. they're showing me in those moments where you feel that where that trigger comes up and someone else kind of pokes at you, of you taking yourself in mentally and in your third eye back to that Atlantean moment and just consciously letting go.
Okay.
So you're, instead of
That
just
makes
like
sense.
dealing it in the here and now, you're gonna go back to the roots of it energetically and let it go. And then it's
Okay.
a ripple effect through everything, and then it'll release more in the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, it's, as much as it's a weight right now that you carry, it's one of your greatest gifts. And it's
Right.
everything that you stand for. And it's what really gets to bring you a lot of the things that you truly deserve in this life.
Okay. That just brings a lot of clarity to so much stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
How I felt, and like these gifts coming back in like this, and why this almost obsession has kicked in.
It's
So
been there
funny.
so many lives, but it's never been ready to release. This is the first one where it's ready to go. That's why it's like just takes you over.
Right. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So my poor husband has watched me literally bring every Atlantis book home for the past 6 months. He's like, another Atlantis book? You haven't even finished that one. I'm like, I finished it in 24 hours. I need this one.
We're done.
He's
I
like, oh
need the
my.
next one. Ah.
He's like, oh my God. Yeah, but he supports it because he thinks it's good to read a book no matter what kind of book it is. So he's like, all right, I'll let
All
you do
right,
it.
I guess so.
How long did I live in that? Okay, so this life specific in Atlantis, I know I've had several. Pretty sure I've had several. How long did I live for?
In this life in Atlantis,
Yeah.
you had multiple Atlantean lives.
Yeah.
This particular one, the number they're
Yeah.
saying is about 200 years.
Okay. I was thinking it was a long time.
Yeah,
For some reason I was thinking 400.
it was cut short.
That's it.
It was cut really short. For some,
We're
I'm
200
not
years
getting what
old.
it is
It
now,
was
but
cut
it
short.
was like it has to do with that chest thing too. It's connected to that. That may have been
Really?
a
No
beating. That
kidding.
actually might have been the beating in. It was like one of your very first lives, and then you came back again.
A beating in one of my first lives. That sucks.
Doesn't it? Mine too, bro. I was beat up in a
That's
bunch of. I was killed in so many lives, but yeah, it feels like that was your first Atlantean life, and then the others were after that.
okay.
It was like
Can you
right
imagine?
as Atlantis started to have its downfall. I think you were just like beaten and killed,
Really?
and then you
Okay.
were born into the other ones after that as it started its progression.
We started so then that wouldn't have been during the golden period then. That 200 plus year must have been in one of the first escapades of Atlantis. And then I came back during the progress.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Man, can you imagine coming in your first life as a soul into the physical and you live to be 200 years?
Which is short at that point, though, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's so weird.
They're saying the average Atlantean lifetime was about 300 years,
Yeah.
which is where that like 400 number makes sense for you. I think you lived 400 years total through your Atlantean lives.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I had a number in my head and it was 447.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if that is total.
I think that's the total. It feels like all these lives were actually very short. The 200 was being the longest and the first.
Okay. Interesting.
You almost
Dude,
got to go through some of the golden years, but it was on the tail end of it into like the early start of the downfall before you
okay.
went bye bye.
Oh man. Can you imagine living 200 years right now?
I'm good. Good. Yeah, I'm happy at like 70 and I'm ready to check out.
I know it's kind of what I thought too. I know that sounds terrible, but I'm like,
uh,
I don't really like I want to live a long life. I just don't want to live to be like 105 years old.
Yeah. I mean, if I can be
And
active and like an active member of society and functioning and healthy, then yeah, sure. But
yeah. Well, my thought, because imagine, so let's say you live to be 200 or 300 or whatever in Atlantean times. But what if you like lose your mother or a child earlier in your life? That's a really long time to go without a loved one, I feel. That's
yeah,
what would
but
be hard for me.
it's really different then, though. Like you're looking at it from normal people dynamics now, whereas like back then, emotions were better able to be dealt with. They weren't weight to be carried. There wasn't as much of a longing. This is my Lumerian side speaking out strongly now, but even for the Atlanteans, it wasn't as quote unquote miserable as it would be for us,
Okay,
right?
that makes
Because you
sense.
think about the energetics of the land, like it feels good. You're living in a totally different way, so you're not carrying around a lot of that negativity.
That's true. Because from what I understand, they still mourned the loss of a loved one.
Hmm.
They must have had, you're right, because it was such higher vibration, the coping mechanisms and skills they had were much different.
And the mourning process is different too. It's less mourning and more celebration of life.
Okay. Man, wouldn't that be nice? We need to bring that back too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just for peace of mind of everybody. Very cool. Okay. Well, I don't know if I really have any more questions for today.
I don't know if you can handle any more
Um,
energetic things for today.
yeah, I think
It's a
that's
lot.
it. I think that's good. I think that is a lot. I think that's some great pointers for me moving forward. In terms of improving these past life healing sessions, and I
Mhm.
got some insight on Atlantis and my birth defect. So I think we're good till next time.
We're all settled in. All right,
All settled
girly.
in.
Well, I'm gonna close this out.